It's pretty cool. I think it was a good day for the series. I think the cars are going to be. How you doing, man? I actually think we both picked up pretty much the same nasty toe together, which was cool.
Yep.
No, the car's really good though. I think the speeds are only going to get better throughout the month, and I think we're going to have some good stuff to show to people, which is great. I think the fans will really enjoy it, and I was pleasantly surprised by the car in traffic. I actually thought it wasn't as bad as I predicted, and some of what I've heard, I think it was pretty good. So hopefully that bodes well for the race. Hopefully we can run close enough and make some passes happen, and put on a really good show on Sunday.
Last time I was talking with you in this room, JR, you did handle a situation with a great deal of class. You've had time to reflect on it. And now back in Indianapolis, that must feel good, another chance to saddle up and take one more step forward.
Yeah, it's nice for us. I think, to be able to start turning the page a little bit, on last year, and, for us to roll out with some speed is definitely a nice way for us to do that, for us to get started here for this month. But, yeah, it's just it's good to be out here. It's nice to have some sort of new challenges to face with the new car and the engines and all that kind of stuff. It's fun for us. It creates a little bit more, I think, adversity out there that everybody's sort of dealing with. Certainly for the teams and drivers, I think we're all a little bit more, cognizant of who's out there at what time, and are they getting tows, and where's the lap time coming from, because we don't really know what it's going to be all about.
That's got to be a pretty big deal. I mean, a lot of people have looked at this race and said it needs more American names, more American drivers. Well, you guys are the American names.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think that speaks to the Mazda road to Indy. Also, you got and even now, I think Josef would agree. There's a lot of guys, from DeFilippi and Spencer Pigot and all these guys that are coming up. I mean, there's a good crop of young drivers that are coming up through the ranks here in the U.S. and are winning races. They're kicking ass down at the lower levels, which is what it's all about. So we've obviously both kind of graduated from that program in our different ways, and I think that speaks to how well it does prepare you to come out here and do a good job.
Yeah, I mean, I would mirror that completely. I don't really know. I don't want to say this if I'm wrong, but I didn't really think that they got enough respect actually on the ladder system before. And I think, everyone that's really come through, particularly the Americans, like you said, JR coming in last year and doing such a great job, and even other graduates from that series, Hinchcliffe coming in. It's just. I think it's shown a lot to what they can produce. And like he was saying, we have so many young Americans now in the pipeline that I think are doing a really great job. They're not just competing in it, but they're winning and they're kicking butt. They're leading the championships. It's our job, I think, to try and help nurture that talent and get it to this top level. It's so difficult nowadays to make it into this top rank. I don't know how the heck I got here in a ride. It's so difficult nowadays. And, I think it's our job up top to try and help that talent make it to this step, because that's the most difficult thing. You sometimes don't get it all the way up to the top. They have them competing in the lower series, but they can't make that final step. And I think that's getting a little bit better, but we got to keep pushing in that direction and get more of us up here.
For both you guys, JR and I talked about this during the test. Is the top speed that important to the drivers? Because JR had a good line back there. He goes, as an IndyCar is one of the reasons I want to get it, but we made a big deal out of it. They're going to give you more boost for qualifying and stuff. Do you think the fact that you went 220 and JR was close to 220 bodes well probably for qualifying maybe? But is that important to you guys as far as do you have to go 220 or 225 or?
I mean, if I was to be honest, and this is really honest, I didn't really notice a huge difference from the lights car to this car, speed-wise. There's a huge difference handling, for sure. The car's a lot more susceptible to changes, and when there's things wrong with the car and it's having problems, they grow really fast, I think, in the IndyCar. And then all the other things, you add in the wind, it's really susceptible to wind changes, and it really affects the car a lot more than a lights car. The speed's great for fans. I think they like to see it, but I think the cars are producing really good. They're producing a really good package right now, and I think it's going to get better for the end of the month.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back to kind of what I said about it before. To be honest with you, just that I don't really think that it makes a huge difference when race day rolls around. I mean, you're not looking at lap speeds and how quick guys are going and all that kind of stuff. But, I just know for me, like the first time that I stood down at turn 1 and watched a car go through there at 228 or something, like that was a big deal to me. Like that was a shock and awe kind of moment.